CEO for OakBend Medical Center, coming to you with a cup of Joe. And we're going to talk about a healthcare topic that we're not always that familiar with. And I'm joined today by Tommy Kuykendall and his mom, Willie Mae Kuykendall, who have been recent secret shoppers at OakBend Medical Center, including our hospital and subsequently our skilled nursing facility. So I'll be honest, they had a good experience, and I wanted them to tell us why it was a good experience, because I don't think we always know what exactly happens inside a healthcare organization, a hospital, or a skilled nursing facility. So first of all, Tommy, let me start off and thank you both for joining me today. And if you could tell us a little bit about your mom's experience first at the hospital, and tell us a little bit about your mom, and just give us some context. So let's start off with telling us about your mom, and then we'll go into the hospital.
Okay. Well, I'm excited to be here with my mother, and we're grateful. She did have a great experience to start off, but Lord willing, in October, she'll be 90 years old. She was born and raised here in Fort Bend County. She's always been a cheerleader for her kids and her grandchildren. But more importantly, she served the community and being part of like the VFW in Rosenberg, the SPJST in
So that's
Needville.
Where you got your commitment to community service from?
Yes, she instilled that from an early age, so I'm thankful for that.
Yeah, excellent, excellent. So, tell us a little bit about, first of all, how did you come to Oak Bend? Is your doctor one of our doctors, or did you choose us? And tell us a little bit about that, and then how your experience was.
Yeah, really, again, mom's almost 90 years old, so she's been experiencing some of the frailties of life. Yeah. We've been struggling with that. Fortunately, I have my sisters, Sandra and Yvonne, and then my nephew, Derek, who have been really instrumental in giving care to her and looking after her. But she was experiencing some hallucinations. She was actually having severe tremors, and then she lost her ability to move around, or her mobility. And so at that stage, we said, hey, she needs to go to the ER, and we chose the Oak Bend Hospital on Williams Way. Gotcha. And so that's how we got her there to start with.
Wonderful. And so, you got, your mom was hospitalized here at Jackson Street or at Williams Way?
Williams Way.
Williams Way. And so tell us about the experience. How did it go?
That really was a great experience overall. To be honest, my wife and I, we happened to be out of the country on a vacation. So all of this was transpiring via text messages with little cellular connections. But fortunately, my family was able to keep us informed. But my sister, actually, I have a text message that said, hey, we just got here and the doctor came in to see her within 5 to 10 minutes. So having other emergency room experiences, I was so thankful that she, wasn't just sitting around waiting for someone to see her, but she got the attention she needed almost immediately.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So having gone through this with my own parents, I know how stressful it is on the family. And so how long did your mom stay at Williams Way?
I would say she was probably there for about a week. She came in on a Wednesday, and then we came back from vacation on the Saturday. So it had been just about a week. And, along with her current symptoms, again, she's experiencing some dementia, some Parkinson's. So all of those things really tend to complicate your health situation that you're in.
Did you see progress from day one, or was there a point in time where you felt like she had turned a corner and she was definitely on the way back?
Really, I think she was cognizant when she came to the hospital in the ambulance ride, but really she deteriorated, her condition did. So when I got back from vacation and, came to visit with my sisters and my other family members, she wasn't drinking, she wasn't eating.
That's not good.
Really non-responsive. And that's when, we were all just kind of overwhelmed with things. And Dr. Terrar, he actually was her caregiver. And to be honest, it's like you go to the doctor for these different things over time, and they add medication. So we felt very confident that he knew nothing about her case, and he took a fresh approach. He analyzed every medication she was on, interactions between the medication, and we felt like we could really trust him and talk to him. He was there for us for any questions we had.
Okay. So she reached a point where she could be discharged, and the recommendation was to go to a skilled nursing facility. So you have choices in different skilled nursing facilities. Was there something that led you to say, hey, let's try Oak Bend Skilled Nursing Facility?
Well, to be honest, we're all lifelong Fort Meade County residents.
Okay.
I'm fortunate that not only does my mom live here, grew up here, but my sisters also live here in the same community. We're here to support each other, and it really wasn't a question for us. We've just had other family members that have stayed here over time. We know their outcomes have been positive. Although I can't say mom was excited to be in any hospital or facility.
No, nobody would.
But I think she saw the value, and so she was well enough to be able to be transferred over here, and we were hopeful that it would bring about the results we had seen before.
Excellent. So tell us about the first few days in our skilled nursing facility. What did you observe as a family member that we were doing that was helping your mom?
I think whenever you have a family member, especially that's older, you worry about getting the level of care that you want them to have. Because at first, she was just well enough and cognizant enough to be transferred over here. You know, she still really wasn't eating much on her own. She wasn't able to get up out of bed and move around. And so it was really kind of slow at first. She started off with soft foods, but they insisted as part of the therapy that, you know, she fed herself. She did that and did a great job at it, I must add. But it was over a time period that, you know, she began to progress, getting out of the bed, sitting in a wheelchair. All of that took some time. But like I said, our family members came in and out on a quite frequent basis. And we had the chance to really interact with the therapists, the nurses, and the caregivers there. And one thing that mom did tell us was that anytime she had a need and, you know, pushed the call button, someone was there immediately to respond to her needs. You know, when someone's elderly, you think, okay, are they laying there when they need something, and maybe not getting the attention you want them to have and they deserve and the quality of life they need? And it was just comforting to us. And we came in and out on a regular basis. We had a great rapport with the nurses and the staff there. They were very friendly and interactive with all of us. And I think, you know, we built a good relationship over the time there.
That's so important. Was there a moment in the course of your mother's stay that stands out in your mind? Something you came in and it was an aha moment or whatever, something that stood out in your mind?
Well, I think, first of all, again, dealing with, not that you're grouchy at all or ever grouchy, but I know I have been in my day. But, you know, if you don't want to be in the hospital, you're maybe not excited about doing therapy. I think they really came about it in a unique way. They're trained very well to handle maybe someone who's not excited to get out of bed when they don't feel well.
Sure.
Maybe to walk down the hall. But really, if you add that on top of, you know, she was beginning to get a little bit better. She could get out of her bed. You know, she took a few steps to the restroom in the room, then down the hallway. But we got to the point where we needed to actually go out of the hospital for one of her specialized visits at her regular doctor.
Sure.
And we're going to have a ride in an ambulance again. I know she was not excited about that possibility. And actually the nurses there, they said, oh, hey, let's do a trial run getting her into my sister's car and out of my sister's car.
Excellent.
And so several days before the appointment, they arranged for my sister to be there, brought my mother out, had her get in the car, you know, put her legs in, get in the seat, out of the car, and just did a trial run on that so that we could take her personally in our own vehicle and not have the expense or really the ride in an ambulance, which you're really not looking forward to.
No, totally understand.
And so to me, that was a point where they were, you know, they just didn't do their job that they had to do, maybe their checklist for the day, but they really looked for an opportunity to help us. And, you know, that gave us great confidence and comfort in the caregivers there.
I can only imagine. That is a wonderful, wonderful story. So, your mom has always preferred being at home. So, what was her reaction when she was told, "Okay, you've done great. It's time to go back home"?
Right. Yeah. She always wanted to be home. She wants to be on her couch. She
Uh
wants to
huh.
be able to watch her television.
Yep. Yep. I
Uh,
respect that.
and so that's just, I mean, who doesn't want to
Yeah.
be at home, right? So I don't fault her for that. But really, it was, I think we were nearing the end of her stay there. She had, again, continued to progress,
Wonderful.
had great care. And she said, "Hey, it's really good here. I've been taken good care of. They responded to my needs." And mom loves a good meal. And that's one thing that
As I do also.
she will tell you. And she told us that she loved the food there. Uh,
Awesome.
I'm not sure all of it, but
Most of it.
most
That's
of it.
good.
Okay.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so pleased to hear that.
Right. And so I think, her saying that, and then just the thoughts from her of, this was a great place.
Good.
I'm not fearful to stay here. I've been treated very well here. Yes, I will go home, but it's not, I got to get out of here today. Break me out of here as soon as you can. We didn't see that in her thinking at all, in the way that she felt.
Excellent. So this has been great. I love hearing this. I believe, and one of the things you've talked about repeatedly is how the family was engaged. And one of the things I try and explain to people is, you can go to the big name, wherever the big name is, whatever it is, but if it's distant from your family and your friends and your faith, it's really hard to bring all those to bear. And they're equally as important to any, super talent out there in somebody's healing. So it's so wonderful to hear that. Is there anything that I haven't asked you about your mother's stay here at Oak Bend that you care to bring up?
Mm, I think you hit it on the head. We're fortunate to have, advocates on her side that are family.
Yeah.
We mentioned, my sisters live in the area. My nephew actually stays with her on a regular basis to help provide her care,
Wow, that's
7 days a week. And then her brother just lives a couple of blocks here from the hospital,
okay.
or the skilled nursing facility. And so he could drop by anytime, try to, prod her a little bit from days of old, but also just cheer her up and be
Sure.
around. And,
Sure.
we had a great experience. And I think that, it was even this last weekend I visited with my daughter. She said, "Hey, I talked to Momo," and she really commented to her unsolicited on what a great experience she had here. And you just don't always hear that,
Yeah.
especially when you're dealing with poor health. And it was very nervous for us and overwhelming to go through it all. I think families go through it, and you make your way through it. But this gave me an opportunity to really think back a little bit on the exact process that we had, and jot some notes down, talk to my sisters about it. And I think we all agree, we're happy for the service that she has received here, and we're thankful for you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm so happy your mother is doing better. I'm so happy we were able to contribute to that, and I really want to express my appreciation once again for the both of you, for your sister joining us today and sharing with us your story. It's much more impactful for people to hear from folks who've been here than it is to hear me talk about it or anybody else. So thank you so much for your time today.
Okay.
Enjoy the
Absolutely.
Wonderful. And
Thank
thank you all for joining us for another Cup of Joe. And I hope to see you soon. And we'll continue our conversation around healthcare topics.